Misindiginated. It's a misindiginated Saturday.
Are we rolling?
On the podcast? Yes, we are.
We're rolling. Where's my bang energy?
A little hot coffee with some pulp. We're here. We're doing it.
This is
Morning.
the last episode of 2025.
2025 recap.
We've done what was it? 49?
This will be episode 86, I believe. So we've done 46 episodes this year.
So we've missed 6 weeks. Doesn't feel like we've missed 6 weeks.
No, because we didn't start January 1st.
Start a little bit later.
Start a little bit later. So it's been a good year. I feel like it's evolved and
We've grown.
we've grown. Yeah. Shout out to the subscribers. I think we've gained 30-something subscribers this year. Because I think it was below 100.
Yeah, we're at 130. Last time I looked, I think it was 134.
Let me pull it up.
So if you're watching, shout out to you. Hit us with a like and subscribe. That's how we keep the channel free.
Oh, yeah. Let's do our sponsors.
Sponsors Pixatine.
Pixatine nicotine toothpick. It's very discreet. People not know you're using it.
People don't know that you're buzzed.
Yeah. People don't know that you have an addiction problem. But, yeah. Thanks for subscribing. And we'll keep the content rolling.
Yeah, 134. Yeah, can you see like a year over year analytic thing?
Oh, I guess I could go to the
Let's take a look.
analytics over here.
Oh, yeah, 2025.
Oh, 20.
Let's look. Okay.
Plus
That's pretty
62
good.
subscribers.
Yeah, so almost doubled
Mm-hmm.
what we started with.
And it's showing that more views happen during the summer.
Yeah, I wonder why that was.
I think it's because people are not doing as much. Like the winter time's pretty busy,
Yeah.
but then it does kind of trail off here. But hey, I can't complain.
No, I mean, it's been, yeah, adding 60, I mean, that's good stuff. You know, I think whenever we started this, you know, we, obviously everyone wants to make it big time, you know, and it seems like everyone does a podcast now, but, you know, I think just having the conversations and putting out content and being consistent has been really the biggest takeaway. You know, the views are going to come with it. I guess our highest viewed video, 700 views. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was a shocking day when it just seemed like it would just keep going up.
Yeah, dead internet theory, AI takeover, and the truth crisis.
Yeah, and then I feel like even just the videos that we did during the summer, like they're just consistently going up too.
Yeah.
Like this one's almost at 200. This one's 163, 152. So it's interesting how the algorithm works.
Yeah.
I don't totally understand the algorithm. It probably understands more about me than I do. It's Cody. I was just on Instagram on the toilet, and Cody sent me a video of like this dystopian guy, like showing all these people on their phones. He's like, if I were to try to distract the world, I would give them cell phones with more information than the Library of Alexandria to keep them distracted.
Yeah. So we look over at 2025. It's been a busy year. There's been a lot that's happened in our world.
Oh yeah,
here in the
100%.
States. I mean, I don't even remember January through March of 2025. The first 3 months of the year.
I do, because that was the time where I had shaved my head in December of last year.
Oh, yeah.
As sort of a symbolic rebirth. I became a monk, and I did not look at women. No, but yeah, I think those first 3 months was me doing the training program that you set up for me.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like in which it was symbolic. I shaved my head like I was a recruit, and I was getting it onto
going to war.
Robinson Training Go. And so I just remember the first 3 months, first quarter was very just like discipline, locked in, and shutting everything else out.
Yeah.
Which I feel like that's a good way to start the year. Focusing on yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some big goals for the new year, and I think, yeah, I mean, I've never been like a super big New Year's resolution person, but I think it is a good opportunity to do a little self-inventory of what you want to accomplish, what you did accomplish the previous year. And I was talking to Mickey about this. And are you familiar with Mel Robbins?
Mel Robbins, no.
She's like a female. She's got a really popular podcast. I think she's got a book maybe called like the 5 second rule, maybe. Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Get over yourself.
I recognize her.
Yeah. How to stop screwing yourself over. Oh, yeah. The 5 second rule. What was that called?
It's Wikipedia.
Yeah, she published the 5 second rule, which I think was like
on decision making.
Yeah, and she talks about like the negotiations that we make with ourselves, and she describes a story. I don't remember where I heard her story the first time, but she was like a successful woman, a kind of a corporate woman, and I think she had some kids, and she was in she's married and going through all this stuff, and she lost her job. I think she got let go, and this may have been COVID. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but she lost her job, and it put her into like this depression.
Wow. Of course.
She was just, okay. Yeah. So 41, I was okay. Yeah. So at 41, she was unemployed, drowning in debt, and so overwhelmed. Then everything changes with one simple tool, the 5 second rule. It got me moving one small step at a time. 15 years later, I host one of the world's biggest podcasts. My books have reached millions. My work has changed billions of lives and can empower you too, blah, 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 blah. So she was depressed, fucking laying in bed all day. Her husband couldn't get her out of bed. And every time she felt like she wanted to do something, like, okay, I'm gonna get out. I'm going to go on a walk. I'm going to go to the grocery store or whatever. Mm-hmm. She found herself just negotiating with her almost like that devil and angel, like sitting on her shoulder. And she couldn't get out of bed. And so then she, I guess, kind of came up with this 5 second rule thing of just like, once you make a decision and once a thought pops into your brain, you've got about 5 seconds before like you'll talk yourself out of it. Yeah. And we all know, I mean, all right, I'm ready to go to the gym. And then you kind of said, it's kind of late. If I get home, I'm going to get home late now. And, now you're not going to go. And that applies to a bunch of different things. But
yeah, I like that. That's a great way of putting it. And a little easy thing to remember, 5 second rule. 5 second rule. Make your decision.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do negotiate with yourself. And there's so many like things that pop in my head when you said that, because I kind of understood what 5 second rule meant, even though I didn't even know about this person. But yeah, Joe Rogan's talked about it. He says his is like, he's got 2 different personalities. One's like the fun-loving, curious Joe, and then there's the governor Joe, where it's like he doesn't take the bullshit, and he decides what's going to happen. And then Patrick Bet-David said something too. He made a video that just stuck with me. He was like on Instagram talking about, like I get texts from millions of people all the time, and they're always like wanting to do something and everything. And this one guy texted me. He's like, "Hey, we should get involved in this one business." And I responded immediately, "Let's do it, blah, blah, blah." And then he doesn't respond for a while. And he's like, the successful people, they make decisions quickly because they don't have time to procrastinate.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And it kind of reminds me of this.
Yeah, it's like if you're, I think that's the other thing. You ever hear people talk about like, obviously like moving in silence, like, you don't want to announce your plans to the world because sometimes they don't end up happening. Mm-hmm. I think it's kind of the same thing of like you say you want to do all these things and then someone's like, okay, well, how are you going to do it? Well, I haven't really thought that far. Yeah. It's like, are you putting yourself in a bad position?
Yes.
If you are announcing all these, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to, really focus on this year. And then someone, oh, cool. How are you going to do that? And, you're not even there yet. I think that's almost just as maybe debilitating as not having any plan.
I agree. So this reminds me, so I listened to Jelly Roll on Joe Rogan, which I recommend anyone to listen to that podcast because it's so motivational and there's something you can take from it. But Jelly Roll was 500 something pounds. He has lost like 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely amazing. No Ozempic.
No, he said no Ozempic.
He was scared of it.
Okay, mad props.
He did take a quarter tablet of metformin, which is like an insulin reducing deal. So he'd be able to fast because his insulin was way too high. Anyways, but he was lying to himself and he was lying to his family all the time about his weight and how it's not a problem. And he was lying to himself. So he did a bunch of research on lying to yourself, like saying you're going to do something and then you're not following up on what you said you're going to do. He said it basically like tricks your body to think like you're not serious about anything, and your body like kind of ends up, I don't know what the science is, but shutting down. And it's so true. Like if you come out with, this is going to be my year 2026, I got this goal, and then you which is great, but then you tell people. I think that's the thing. Like you get satisfaction from telling someone how you're going to change your life, and you don't really have any backing behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think it's good to set really high goals. Like last year, one of my goals was to gain 15 pounds. I accomplished that goal. That was tough, and it took a lot of hard work, and it's still a process. Like even when I woke up this morning, I'm like, wow, 2 pounds down. Because I've been walking a lot more.
Yeah.
So I think I got to figure out, fine tune that. But one of my other goals was to read 12 books. I didn't read 12 books. But the goal was so high that I did strive for something. I fell off the wagon a little bit. Life gets complicated. But I ended up reading like probably 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And I still felt good about that.
Yeah. It's better than nothing.
It's better than nothing, yeah. Because the previous year it was close to nothing. So, setting goals is kind of there's some psychology in there.
There 100% is. And I wonder, do we get proper training or guidance on like how to set goals and accomplish goals? Like that's not really something that like anyone's ever really talked about. And you kind of get what I'm saying?
If you had a kid, like how would you explain like life is kind of, you got to do stuff and you got to accomplish goals. How do you do it? And you train them. Because I think you learn what goals are and how to be successful through certain things like school, for one. Like you could be a good student and then you find out like you make good grades and then this gets you into a good college, gets you a good job. And you're like, okay, if I take the discipline of doing my homework every night, studying, making good grades, that can lead me to whatever it is, a good life, getting a college degree or even sports. I think that one's probably,
I feel like that's like one of the best examples of effort and output to an end result.
Because you have to say you're like a average football player or average golfer or whatever. And you go out there and you lose, and then you realize like, okay, it's not just luck. I have to put in some work to get better.
And that's what I talked to Cal about. He's coaching high school basketball, and he deals with some of these parents. It's freshman basketball, so you got what are they, 13 years old, 12, 13 years old?
Yeah, probably 14,
14 maybe. So little, kids. And these kids, they're watching Steph Curry, they're watching LeBron, and they're like, man, I want to be a good basketball player. I want to play. I want to score points. I want to be a good player. And these kids don't practice. And so Cal, I think they have an obligation to play everyone. Like everyone has to check into the game.
Wow.
But, you've got your starting 5, and let's say those are your 5 best players, and you've got 5 kids on the bench who aren't looking to get any better, and they're not taking the time to practice more. And then after the game, mom and dad come up, hey, Why isn't my son playing more? You know, he should
Yeah.
play more. And the kid doesn't practice. He doesn't want it himself. But yeah,
It's tough.
I think I think the big thing for me this next year is going to be the year of preparedness. You know, I think a lot of the goals and things that people end up wanting to accomplish, like, I don't think you get there if you don't really know what you're looking for and you don't know how to break it down. And what's that saying? You can't take a bite out of the elephant. Can't eat the whole elephant at once or something. And there's a bunch of different analogies for that type of stuff. But, you know, and it goes back to playing sports, you know, the best athletes, they succeed in the highest moments, not because they're the best athletes. It's because they've prepared to be in those moments and they've envisioned it and they put themselves in those positions and they know how they're going to react and they know how to keep themselves calm. And so I think for me, like being prepared and having your meals ready and knowing what you're looking to accomplish the next day. I go to bed too many times, like not being prepared for the next day. And then you wake up and you're in a frenzy and then it's chaotic and you're not getting anything done and you're kind of just always on edge.
I think that's a great goal.
Good. It's not good.
No, it's not. And that's the exciting thing in the way that we do life is that there are years and you can kind of track what you've done and always striving to get better. So I think that's a great goal, being more prepared because, you wake up in the morning and it's a frenzy. It's chaotic, which that's something that I've kind of tried to implement here as I moved over here is to take my time. Like, my work's always going to be there. Yeah, I can slave away and I can make an extra, whatever, $25,000. But, like, for what? For what peace of mind am I going to do that for? Like, I think, obviously, I want to make more money to be able to get a house, start a family, all this crap. But right now, I think the art of living has been in my head. Like, I just want to live like a peaceful life. Peace. Like the people, I don't know, like I want to look up to people that have peace in their life. And they're able to live a life where it's not like they're stressed all the time. I think stress is good, but like, I don't know. I want to wake up and instead of, like, I guess walking has been huge for me these past 2 weeks. Just getting outside in the sun and walking because it adds up, like, how many hours we're inside in the fluorescent light and we're not in nature. And
sitting on your butt.
You've done a lot of walking, especially when you were in Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what do you think walking does for your brain?
I mean, you can fucking Google this and find some really amazing research of what it does for your brain and your ability to, make clear decisions and remove some of the emotional response from the things that you're thinking about. And I think it's, that saying, take a walk. When people get stressed, hey, take a walk.
Yeah.
I think everyone knows that it is a really good way to relax your body. Cognitive function. Walking stimulates the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, which supports the survival of existing neurons and promotes the growth of new ones. So walking is literally growing new brain cells. Increased blood flow during walking, boosts oxygen and nutrient delivery to the brain, enhancing creativity and problem-solving skills, memory and learning, mood enhancement. Walking feels so good. Stress reduction, short bursts of activity can enhance cognitive performance. Walking outdoors for 15 minutes has been shown to significantly improve reaction times and cognitive function of walking indoors, likely due to the added benefits of being in a natural environment. Yeah, I mean, I used to walk. I would walk probably 20,000 steps a day. And that's probably 3 or 4 hours, maybe. I would be on my feet all the time.
That's a lot.
And it was just good to get out of the house and
it is
get
good
some
to get out
sun, and listen to the trees, look at the grass.
I think, too, it helps process things. Like, you could have something in your brain that you kind of like, oh, this is a big problem. And you're sitting out there walking. It's kind of like the shower. where you're kind of like your body ends up getting in like this autopilot mode where you're doing something, but then your brain just kind of goes.
Yeah.
And I think it's been good for me for that, just processing things in my head.
I used to take a lot of phone calls when I was walking. Like if I had to make an important phone call, or even listening to certain podcasts or videos where I felt like I really wanted to retain the information and kind of like have a conversation with myself.
It's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting used to it right now because, like, I was looking on my health app on my iPhone, and my average steps a day was, like, under 5,000.
That's not good.
Yeah. And now, like, this past week, it's, like, getting up to, I'll walk in the morning for a little bit, and then I'll walk after I eat lunch, and then I'll walk after I eat dinner.
Yeah.
And my average is probably, like, 12,000.
Yeah. I mean, that's where you should be. And the other thing that, walking after meals is really important.
For the digestion.
For digestion, for blood flow circulation. Because everyone knows, once you eat a big meal, you try to sit down, like your brain is just kind of like dead. Like you're just like, oh my God, I'm just so full. I can't really I just want to rot.
Yeah.
But then you eat that meal and you go on a walk, like you feel so much better. Belly's not as full and whatnot.
Down goes Buck. I'm definitely like, that's going to be part of my 2026 is the routine of walking and the routine of having my dog here, which ironically she's not here right now, but having her around has helped me like lock into a routine of, I don't know, like just loving an animal so much where you want to like make the animal happy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a companion.
And I think dogs do really well with the routine. They're going to walk every morning because they understand like timing.
Yes. It's funny too. When I get back from the gym, she's just like perked up on the couch, like waiting.
Yeah.
And then I get near the door and then she jumps down there and it's awesome. But let's talk more about 2026. The year of preparedness. What more do you mean by that? Is it just like having like setting your clothes out before the day and having a meal prepped?
Well, I think one of the big things for me is like, obviously if we look at the things that we know that we have to do on a daily basis, you got to shower, you got to eat, you got to cook your meals, you got to work out, you got to have your clothes prepared. And if you're not prepared with those tasks, they can take up a lot of mental energy and they also can take up a lot of time. Mm-hmm. And for me personally, like if I don't have my food ready, then my workout's not going to be as good because, I'm not fueled properly.
Exactly.
And if I don't have my food, then I can't reach the physical goals that I'm looking to achieve with either weight loss or muscle gain or anything like that. And so I think it's automating the mundane tasks to allow me to focus on some of the bigger picture items. Because if I'm always thinking about food and I'm always thinking about, I don't have my meal prep ready, I can't allow myself to be thinking about those things that really don't impact anything else that I'm looking to achieve.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They're like speed bumps in the day.
Yeah, and it's like I can't. If I can wake up in the morning and I got my meals prepared, then I don't have to focus on that. It's already. I'm already moving on to the next thing, and I feel like this year I didn't do a great job of that, and it left me days where I'm feeling really hungry. My energy was bad. Then I'd make a bad decision, and it's like this cascading effect of just what not being prepared has led me to. Man, I don't feel like my health is that great. And that's just a small kind of, microcosm of my life. Well,
that's good though, because it is a momentum thing. When you make the right decision, or if you make the wrong decision, it's kind of like you go up the hill or down the hill.
Yeah.
And I can get better at that for sure.
And I think that's also like a weird thing with our culture and just human beings now. Like, how much time do we spend thinking about food?
All day.
It's like, what are we doing for dinner tonight? You wake up and it's like, all right, what are we doing for dinner tonight?
I know. I mean,
like obviously we have to eat. It's not what I'm debating, but it's like, does that deserve so much of our mental energy of just like figuring out what we have to cook?
I think it is, because that's like hardwired into us. Because then if you have a meal and you know where the food's coming from, I think your body will naturally relax more.
Yeah.
Which that's some freaking science right there. If you don't have food, you like you start to become more stimulated. You're like the body's turning up the levels just to try to get you some food to survive.
Yeah, when you know you got food in the fridge, it could be a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, I need to
Yeah.
get some.
I think the other thing though for me, like budgeting.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
I think we're both at a point in our life where we're really trying to take up that next level when it comes to the financial prosperity, and financial freedom,
Yeah.
and the preparedness with that type of decision making and being able to look at your finances. Because I've had some rough. I don't want to say rough. Looking at your finances can be very overwhelming sometimes, and it can be like a very anxious driven experience. If you don't feel like you're making enough money, if you're in debt, if you're paying your student loans, credit card debt, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And as someone who's struggled in that realm and like left it to the unknown, like at some point you're going to have to fucking face the music. And I think that's something that I accomplished here towards the end of the year of 2025 is really facing the music when it comes to what I'm spending, what I need to do to, you know, prepare myself, because I do want, you know, a family and I want to have kids and I want to have a home. And, you know, if you're just being really relaxed with how you're swiping your card and how you're saving money, you know, it's going to be really hard to get there. And so I think that's, you know, the financial preparedness of having a budget and, you know, not swiping my card for $40 every day. You know, it's because it's so easy to add up on transactions like that. And just in our consumerism world. And that's something I've struggled with, you know, getting a $7 coffee every day. You know, I'm going to buy some Zins. I'm going to buy some Velo, you know, another $6. Okay, yeah, I guess I'll get another energy drink. That's another $4. And you look at, and you're spending $25 every day on junk, you know, and that shit adds up, and that's not a good practice, a good habit to have.
Man, that speaks to me deeply. I need to get better at that, and it does take another level of discipline to sit there and acknowledge that. Yeah, it's too easy to tap on your phone
and just pay for stuff.
It doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel like you're losing anything. It's just, I want that. I just do this movement right here and I get the thing.
Yeah.
And I don't realize that it's subtracting from my
my
stockpile.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can get a lot better at that. I think, Mom and Dad have always said, like, stop using the credit card. Just like take out the cash that you've budgeted and only use cash. And I think that could work for me, but there's so many things I've already signed up to auto pay on my deal, like Amazon subscriptions, like supplement subscriptions. Like,
yeah,
I might, you know, you might inspire me to.
You got to look at what you're spending and feel like you got to look at what you really don't need. And even cutting back on like streaming services and, you know, the most successful people and wealthy people, you know, they treat every penny the same, and they value every penny that they have. And if you're just very casual with, you know, it's only an $18 subscription, you're going to end up doing that for like 5 or 6 different things. And that's going to be $1,000 by the end of the year easily. And that's just on the low end. I mean, there are people that are spending way more money than they probably even know. And I think there is a system in place that intentionally gets people to not look at those things, and to get people to spend more money on a casual basis. Oh, you know, it's just a $3.99 subscription. It's just a $8.99 subscription. And you just do that over and over again, and you really don't realize that, holy shit, I'm signed up for 25 different things, and I'm really only using half of them. And the half of that I really don't even need.
And then you feel like you have this weird feeling when you know, like, oh man, that charged again. Like, I didn't want that.
Yeah.
Let me cancel that. And then you forget about it. And it's something about just not being accountable.
Yeah. Like I had to sign up for Adobe Acrobat Pro.
Oh, you did?
It's for like some PDF files I needed to convert. And
let it run.
You know, I had to set the reminder and I got charged for a month. You know, I think I don't even remember if I got the reminder. But I looked at the account and it had billed me. I think I was a day late and it was like $54. Yeah. But I needed it for something, you know, that was more of an essential subscription at the time, but
No, you don't.
I wasn't prepared to cancel it. And that's $50 out of my account that I'm never getting back.
Yeah, man, that's a tough one because no one really teaches you how to budget money and how to like live that life. You really don't get taught that
No.
unless someone takes you under their wing and like really gets under the hood and looks at your credit card and is like, dude, you don't need this. Like, what's going on here? Like, it's a behavior thing too. Like being okay with making your own coffee at home versus buying a $7 coffee, like you said. That adds up big time.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's a video I saw on Instagram or something where this guy, he, instead of buying his $7 Starbucks, he would invest $7 every day into Starbucks stock.
Yeah.
And it just went doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Yeah.
The investment of it. But yeah, like living within your means. Gosh, that's something that's hitting hard right now.
Yeah. And I mean, everything is really expensive and, yeah, it's a tough world. Everything costs a shit ton of money, but there's always winners and losers.
There's opportunity.
There's always opportunity.
Be good and better at it.
Yeah.
I like that. 2026, the year of Goo Goo Gaga.
The year of money bag, yo.
Money bag, yo.
The other thing, I did open up a new credit card.
Oh yeah,
and that's going back into like the financial readiness. People don't know how to use credit, and they don't know how to leverage debt, and they don't know how to leverage their spending to get benefits out of it. And I was always using my debit card.
Oh yeah.
Just because I'm like, oh well, I got the money in there, I'll just use the money because I didn't want to, rack up a $10,000 credit card bill, and then you're paying $1,000 interest every year on that.
That's scary stuff.
And so I got a new credit card, and I've already, figured out the timing for the automated payments, and I understand which subscriptions I put on there and the things that I know I can pay for, and it's just easy money. And I've already got, I think, $100 in rewards just within 1 month.
There you go.
Because Capital One's got certain things that if you pay for using the card, then you get cash back.
Yeah, that's awesome. So when you went through and decided to do all this, did you sit down and look through your bank statement?
I looked through every year dating back to 2022. I looked through every transaction I've made since 2022, and I logged it. And I was shocked at some of the money that I was spending. I mean, everything was on a month-to-month basis, the statements I was looking at. And, dude, there'd be months where $1,200 on food, $90 on parking, $280 on coffee,
oh my
entertainment,
goodness.
$480. I was making money, but I was spending money.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you don't really have the guidelines in place, then you're just always trading every dollar you get, and it's just going right out the back end. It's like you got like a hole in your pocket.
Yeah, dude.
And that's stressful too, because I think everyone, unless you're making like $20,000 a year, there is an opportunity to save and put some stuff away.
200,000.
Yeah. I mean, if you're making $200,000, like, you're doing pretty good.
That was in Ricky Stenicki. Like, Ricky got hired at their company.
Oh yeah.
And they were so pissed. And, he told them, he's like, yeah, I'm making $250,000. He gave me $250,000. So like, you make more than us. And they're pissed at him.
Yeah.
But I think even, that's a good point. Like, you could make more money, but then if you just keep spending it, it's like, nothing's going to get back to you.
Like, you should, even if you're making $200,000, you should act like you're living a $50,000 lifestyle.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's because we have a materialistic society.
Yeah.
Material world.
It's also, do you think there's any added pressure, being in a relationship with spending?
Yes and no. Like, I feel like in past relationships, there was more of a pressure to and this wasn't like pressure that she put on me. It was pressure that I put on myself because I wanted to seem like I was a little insecure maybe. And I wanted to feel like the big dog. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll put my card down.
Which that was really stupid, but I think you learn from it. So I feel like now it's more of a mature relationship where it's not about that. I think there's big things that obviously we'd want to do, like vacations but like spending money, like nice dinners and like bracelets and gifts like that's not.
Here's
really
a new
Cartier.
yeah. There's a new YSL.
Yeah. It's like, I got you, babe. Here's a new Cartier.
Yeah. Because I think you also,
It's fake.
you know, when you look at building your empire, right, and your family and your unit, you know, you have to be consistent on, hey, this is how we're going to be spending our money and this is how we're going to be saving. Because if you're going to be very frugal and very conservative and the other person is like, I don't give a fuck, and swiping, comes home from work.
Yeah.
Where's that new bag from?
Amazon bills.
Oh, it was a discount. You know, it's like that's going to create somewhat of a toxic kind of relationship.
I think so, because then you're just like, well, babe, like, you know, we have this goal. We want to save up like 20,000 by the time we have a kid, and this isn't really for our goal. And then there's a conversation to be had.
She's like, oh, so I can't have nice things?
Like, damn, I chose the wrong one.
Yeah. And that would be, I mean, that's like, oh, dude, I've heard so many stories of like women and men, you know, they get divorced and one bleeds the other dry. And it's just like, yeah, she took all my stuff, you know, 50%. And, you know, that can ruin you. Like the wrong financial decision can and 100% will ruin you.
Yeah. Yeah, it will. I mean,
you got to file for bankruptcy or something, or the government seizes your assets and your wages, which I think that's fucking bullshit.
I don't understand how that works, but yeah. Money is a necessity in life. We should not worship money, but it is how we kind of operate in this world. So being smart about it's a great thing.
What's like one financial tip you get? Because you were an accountant.
I feel like I was lucky in the sense where I did learn some things. One of the easiest things that I did learn was to just set up like a retirement account. And that's something that you're 18, you can do, and I think you should do. Like
a Roth IRA.
Yeah, Roth IRA, just set it up. And I went on YouTube and I found this one chick had an allocation deal. So I followed what she did. And I couldn't really explain. I mean, it's kind of simple, but it's like you want to invest a certain amount into companies that are in the U.S. versus companies that are outside the U.S. And then you want to invest in like industry stuff, like energy, oil and all that crap. And then you want to invest in like more risky stuff, and it's like a weird allocation. But I set that up a while back because I learned like the compounding of money, time value of money, like over time, like this one penny. Oh, there was a crazy joke. So my friend Miranda, her uncle is like a big money manager guy. And I remember in college, she told us this story. Oh, I'm going to butcher it, but it was kind of like okay, I'll give you $500,000 today, or I'll take one penny and I will invest it in this account that doubles every day. And it was like by the end of the 30 days, it was like...
It's like trillions of dollars, I think.
It was something stupid. And that was like... Most people don't understand that. I still don't really understand that, but it's a fact.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's a good representation of eliminating the short-term satisfaction for the long-term gain.
Yeah, putting it in an investment and let it grow. Like, dude, I got to look this up because my buddy Lucas, you know Lucas?
Yeah.
He told me to invest in this one thing called QRL.
QRL. That sounds like a coding or something.
I think it's like has to do with coding.
Quantum resistant ledger.
Yeah. So we bought this. in March of 2021. Let's see if I can figure out what this is. A powerful blockchain platform.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've heard of the blockchain.
It's a QRL digital asset is secure against current and emerging cryptographic threats like quantum computing. And we put $50 in this thing in 2021, and it's at $600 right now.
Damn.
And
so it's like 1,200% right there.
And that's like, it's crazy. So then there's things like this where you take a gamble on something, and I just trusted his judgment. Whatever, $50, and he was like explaining. It made sense though. It was about like protecting against quantum computing, which would be able to like work so fast where it could unsecure all the like blockchain stuff and steal your money. I don't know that crap, but
yeah.
What would you say is a good tip that you learn on the financial plane?
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that we talked about already, I mean, I think for a lot of people that don't work remote and they're always stopping at gas stations, and maybe they're in the workout kind of mode, and so they're getting energy drinks and protein shakes and things like that, it adds up. And so I think the point that you made of like making your coffee at home, making your protein shakes at home, making your food at home, I think it's so much more valuable than what people think. And sure, you are trading some time, and I see a lot of videos about people saying, oh, everyone told me to go to the grocery store and to make burgers at home, and I ended up spending $50 and spent 2 hours making it, and then got to do dishes. And, it's like they kind of over dramatize like the cooking process and the making things at home process, when once you automate it a few times, it is easy.
It is.
And you do save money, because I mean, dude, you can't go out and get a meal without spending $20. And when you think about, okay, I'm going to go get Chipotle, and I just spent $20 at Chipotle, that's potentially 2 pounds of ground beef, 2 pounds, depending on what kind of meat you get. And that's a day's worth of eating.
That's like 500 grams of protein.
Yeah, that's like a day's worth of eating, if not more, for the same price that you just paid for one meal. And so if you can do that,
that's big.
If you can do that 5 days out of the week, you're going to save so much more money. And I think you're also going to understand the value of money when you look at your account. You're like, man, I cooked at home every day this month, and I saved an extra $600. Because every time, if you were to ask any person, hey, if I gave you $600 right now and I told you just had to cook at home this month, be like, hell yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
It's like it just takes a little bit of elbow grease. And I think that's sometimes what disincentivizes people from cooking at home. It's like the effort.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you got to do dishes. You're going to have to do dishes. Like, be a grown up.
Yeah, I think get yourself a little dish rack and just don't pile up the dishes, and then it becomes, it's so big, it's daunting task. You just clean it literally right when you're done using it.
Yeah.
It takes like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Clean. I think it's big.
Get some good pans. You got to get a good pan.
Get a good knife, get a cutting board, and get some good seasonings. Because one thing that people probably run into is like, wow, this doesn't taste like the GMO,
The Five Guys.
Yeah, this tastes like freaking cardboard. Put some Kinder seasoning on it.
Yeah. And I think the other thing too is like, there's so many recipes online now, and you can pretty much figure out how to cook anything. And it's like all of a sudden you can't use your resources to figure out how to cook and how to meal prep the right way. It's like, come on, you're not that dumb.
But if we're thinking about someone who's, obviously there's different levels to it, and we've been cooking for ourselves for a while, but like someone who hasn't done any of this and they're spending a lot of money, then they're like, okay, this makes sense to me. Like, I can save a lot of money here. Let me do this. It's
Just start with one meal.
Yeah.
You don't have to meal prep everything, but hey, I'm going to meal prep my breakfast for 5 days. Get your 5 Tupperware dishes and, just do the same thing.
Yeah.
And consistency wins overall.
I think it's also something I learned too. It's it's easier to cook a lot at one time.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to have to go back and, oh, wow, I got to cook this other pound of ground beef when I could have just cooked 4 at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's like getting that time down.
Yeah, 100%.
Saving time.
But yeah, I think the biggest thing is like you got to stop with the $4, $5, $6 transactions that you do a few times a day. I think that's just, for me personally, that's what adds up the most.
Yeah,
and that's the stuff
station.
you don't. Well, it's just $3. You just don't. It's such a small number that you don't think about it, but it literally adds up. And there's that. You remember that Acorns app?
Mm-hmm.
That was like a really great invention of like you sync it with your credit cards and your accounts, and let's say you spend $9.11. It's going to take 89 cents. It's always going to round everything up to the next dollar, and it's going to invest that 89 cents.
Yeah.
So on every transaction you make, it always rounds it up, and it takes that money and invests it for you.
I like that. That's a good invention.
Yeah. And so it's just an easy way for you to kind of take the scraps and just let it compile into something that you can actually use later.
I think all this stuff is things that I think we're implementing now and we're going to implement. Like even buying that protein.
Yeah.
Paying up front more, but then the cost per serving goes down significantly when you buy in bulk.
Like I think it was cut in a quarter.
I mean, it was like, it costs what, $200 for?
It was like 10 pounds, 12 pounds.
I think it was something like that. And it's just like so much protein, but I store it and I'll save money versus that amount of protein at the gas station.
Oh my God.
$500
at least. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
literally, I bet. Yeah. I don't even know what that would turn out to be.
The economies of scale. Look that one up. But yeah, I think 2026, there's a lot to change. And one thing that has been on my mind is that my goal was to put on 15 pounds. I went to 170 to 185. Now I'm like hovering 188 to 190. I want to maybe get up to 195, 200, but I kind of want to keep my diet a little cleaner, if that makes sense. So like, have you seen Steven Adams, what his diet is?
No.
He's like the biggest, strongest guy in the NBA. Steven Adams, center. He's on the Rockets now. He does carnivore plus fruit.
Yeah.
And so he's like, it was funny. They were making a joke that he walks into the film room and he opens up his ground beef and eggs and everyone's like dying. They're like, smells like shit in here.
Smells like dog food.
But it's, he said it just changed his life. And I mean, he's still jacked. He's huge.
Yeah, he's been playing for 15 years too.
And this is something that, I follow Paul Saladino. I really value his opinion. I trust him for some odd reason. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. I mean, he's like 50-something. He's absolutely shredded. Yeah. And he lives the right way, I think. He's at peace in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of want to try this maybe the first quarter.
Just pure carnivore?
With fruit.
Yeah.
Fruit and honey and yogurt.
What do they call that?
Ancestral diet?
Yeah, ancestral diet. I did that
animal-based.
When I was living by myself in Nashville. I did that for a good few months, and it was just easy. It was steak and eggs, chicken and eggs. And then I'd have a big bowl of strawberries, blueberries, honey, mango, and it was really simple.
I want to do that.
You kind of feel like it costs more just because you're spending a little bit more on protein, but when you cut out the carbs and the things like that, I mean, you kind of realize, man, I don't need to live with these types of things. I felt like my energy was cleaner. I did feel like my workout performance went down. Like my sustained energy was shortened. Like I maybe had 30 to 45 minutes of good output versus, I worked out with Austin Till yesterday. Yeah. We pushed for almost 2 hours. And right around an hour, I think we said we both work out typically like an hour, hour 15, and it was an hour 15. And I'm like, I could just feel my body kind of like slipping away a little bit. But I was carved up from Christmas. I mean, we had fucking pie and cookies and all these things, pasta. But
Yeah.
I think that would be a good
I don't know.
good experiment.
I'm kind of like, yeah, it'll be a good experiment, but I'm a little like scared to try it because of the fact that like, I don't know why it's such a big deal, but like, yeah, I do want to keep my weight up. I don't want to like end up doing this and like I'm back at 170 and I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm a little more shredded, but like, I don't know, I feel less strong.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm gonna see what
You got to
happens there.
experiment though.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Kinda
try it.
Figure out what your body can handle.
And you know what? Like, if that means snacking a little bit more on fruit, maybe having more like yogurt with honey during the day and keeping those little small meals around,
Yeah.
so be it.
I think that's what I'm going to do. And I already have my meal plan. Normally I try to eat 2 big meals a day,
Yeah.
with like a snack. That doesn't really work with my schedule.
Ooh.
And so now I'm going to really try to transition into probably like 5 meals throughout the day, but just, obviously
Smaller.
cut out a little bit shorter because I like eating at night. It's like almost like a ritual for me. I come home from work because I get home from work later than maybe most people.
Mm-hmm.
8 o'clock. Okay, now I can relax and, I'm going to cook this massive meal and, it's a big burden on my digestive system. And then I'm probably eating it at 9:30 or 10.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, and that affects your sleep, and then it affects your workout. And then you got to go buy the convenience store energy drink.
Yeah. Well, it's also because I cooked all that food at night. I don't have anything in the morning. And then I wake up in the morning and I'm like, fuck, well, I'm supposed to work out. And okay, I guess I'll buy something at the grocery store. It's like, that's how it just cascades into this,
Dang.
like this cycle of just not being prepared.
That's huge. I feel like, yeah, the timing of that last meal, like I'll eat, in the morning, I'll eat like a little breakfast. I'll eat a little bit before workout. Then I'll eat like a pretty decent protein shake, banana, yogurt. And then I'll eat lunch, and then I'll eat dinner at 4:30. I'll try.
Yeah.
So I can like fully digest everything before I fall asleep, and then, the morning poop comes quick.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a ton of studies and evidence to show that like eating late is just not good for your system.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And I certainly would like to try to create a guideline of like no eating past 9 p.m. I think that's something I really want to try to stick to. And then once 9 p.m. comes a little bit easier, okay, let's hard stop at 8.
Sure.
Because most of the time, if you're eating after 8 p.m. or 9 p.m., it's probably not going to be the best stuff most of the time.
Yeah,
you're going to be
kind of
going
dark
around
in there.
Yeah.
No one can see what's on your plate.
Yeah. It's like, I guess I'll just take a full bowl of granola or trail mix.
Is that peanut butter on that bowl?
Yeah. And it's just like and then you wake up in the morning and you got the bubble gut and you're like, oh my God, it's going to be one of those days. You just feel like shit. Yeah.
That's good. 2026. Let's keep it rolling. I don't know what else I've really thought of for 2026 other than that. These little tweaks in the routine, little tweaks in the diet.
Yeah.
Just becoming more faithful, just staying in the Bible. One thing the Bible has and God has done for me is just it's helped me relax more. Like, I'm not in control. Like, we might think we're in control, but like there's a bigger plan happening, and it's kind of like it's nice to know that there's someone else in control. But once you get into it a little bit more, can become a little scary though. There's forces that are trying to get you to do the wrong thing too. So I think just doing that, and I want to find a good church to go to as well. Like, I went to a church with my tattoo artist over here in Fort Worth, and it was pretty cool and everything. And I think that would be something that would help me out a little bit more. Just feeling good about that. Trying to find some stuff.
I don't want to sidetrack, but I just saw the quote on the bottom. It says, the trouble with not having a goal is that you can spend your life running up and down the field and never score.
Wow.
I didn't even know that was there.
I didn't.
That's what we've
Yeah,
been
that's the
talking
first
about.
time I read that too.
Yeah, I do like the idea of reintroducing some like religious discipline into my life. I think, I don't know why I'm hesitant with it. I don't know why. I feel like sometimes it's like, you're facing maybe the biggest and most important thing in your life. And I think that's why some people are very resistant to going to church and feeling like they're judged, and they kind of have to look at their life and, man, I haven't been doing things in a godly way, or I haven't been treating people now. I've been judging too much.
Yeah, but that's literally like human nature. Like the way that it spells it out, it's like we're born sinners. We don't know what's right, and then God sends Jesus down to die for our sins, and we're forgiven. So no one's perfect, and so there's always a redemption with believing in Jesus, and it literally says it. And I thought about this too. I had a philosophy class, and this one like passage that we talked about, and this is not what I believe, but it makes sense to a lot of people. It's like, okay, so just assume the Bible's true. If you believe that Jesus came here and died for our sins, like, you're saved, you're good. Like, isn't that the easiest, like, low-hanging fruit to do, to ensure that you're not going to go to hell?
But you do have to truly believe.
Yeah, you do.
Like, you can't,
like, in the back of your mind think like, this is BS.
yeah, and then some, rapture day comes, you're like, oh wait, I did believe.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
I think, and this is maybe where I need to humble myself. I just don't know. I think most people just don't know what exists outside of us. And I think, and this is something that I've thought a lot about recently with, we're obviously more conspiratorial. We look into things that are maybe alternative knowledge. Mm-hmm. And it's, I don't know, like the story that we've been told forever and ever, like, is it the truth? Like, who really knows? And I think I personally struggle with authoritative figures and people who try to preach onto me. I don't respond that way.
I don't think anyone does. When you try to tell someone what to do or what's right and wrong, it's like, let me figure that out for myself.
Yeah. And I know I can be very critical. And I think when you look across religious practices and, the Catholics, the Catholicism is the number one religion and, this is the only way. And then you're like, well, don't you guys have a lot of pastors and popes raping little boys? Yeah. It's like, I'm supposed to listen to you.
I don't like Catholicism at all. Like, I think that it's about control. Like the Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, like the Bible doesn't say anything about having to go through someone to talk to God.
Yeah.
Like, why do I have to confess to you? It's a control structure. Like, the Bible allows you to talk directly to God.
Yeah.
You don't have to talk to this Pope and bishop or whatever. Like, there's no middleman. They made a middleman to control people.
Yeah, and that dates back into the 1500s when the class system was so ingrained in our society, where you had the churchmen and the religious groups, and then you had the peasants and the people working the blue collar jobs, and the churchmen were the ones interpreting the Bible to the lower people. Oh, yeah. It's like, you have to do this in order to get here. And, they were taking the word and manipulating it to maintain their power, but also keep the lower people, the ungodly people down. And I've got a problem with that. And I think,
agreed.
Yeah, there's just so much unknown. And I think with our world now, I think a lot of people need to see something in order to believe. And that's the idea of faith, right? Believe without seeing.
Yeah.
And I think just because we live in this world where everything's on our phone and we can take pictures and there's videos and there's all this ancient data, it's like, well, if you can't show me that this happened, how can I believe that this happened?
You think, that's a good point. Yeah, you need to have faith in something.
I think that's what Sadhguru talked about on Joe Rogan. It was like the fall of Jesus, the fall of religion. It's like, because these people can't see it. It's like, you can't have faith in something you can't see. And I think we're just conditioned to only believe things that we can see now, which is hard.
But also, too, like, people believe that we came here from, like, chimpanzees and apes and everything. So there's, like, people believe in a theory that they can't prove either. They can't prove that the Big Bang happened and we were here on this planet and we came from these microorganisms and we evolved from apes. They can't prove that. Just like you can't technically prove that the Bible's true. There's just two, like, you know, there's theories, like you said. So at some point, like, I think something happens in your life where you turn towards something and you feel the Holy Spirit, and I think that's what happened to me. So yeah. You know, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, they have a theory of how we got here.
Yeah.
The same people that, you know, it's just like a scientific theory.
Yeah, everyone has their own belief system, and I took a biology anthropology course, and I'm pretty sure that professor is an atheist, you know, because he believes in the evolution from the monkeys and things like that, you know, and that's totally okay for him to believe. And then you got other folks who don't believe evolution is real and that God created Adam and Eve and then everything stemmed from that, and that could certainly be true too.
And yeah, I just feel like,
do you think that
well, let me just say this first.
Yeah.
My life has gotten so much better since I started, you know, believing in Christ and following the Bible. It's just true.
Yeah.
Like, and if that isn't something that is like a marker for how I should live my life, like, the way I was living my life was seeking pleasure, I was seeking money, I was greedy, I was jealous, I was a sexual deviant, all these things that the Bible like warns you about.
Mm-hmm.
And then I change my ways and I give my life to Christ and I repent for my sins, and my life has just gone up from there. I mean, it's just like, and there's moments in life where, like, dude, I had this crazy moment the other day when I was at work. I was at work by myself, and these two random guys like walk behind my door or my window, and I hear them like laughing and whatever, and they open the front door, and I'm like, oh, two dudes coming in here. I'm by myself, so I grab my pistol, I put it in my thing, and I go up there, and they're like, hey man, how's it going? And they're like, we're here from the we have this church that we do for these people that were addicted to hard drugs, and they had these crazy addictions, and we run a church, and we're just coming by to see how it's going and get some donations for that and everything. And I was like, oh, that's cool, man. And so I gave them some waters and everything, and it was the weirdest deal ever. And so then they prayed for me, and they put their hands on me, and I was a little scared, to be honest, because I was like, this guy gonna pull out a knife and stab me and like take my money or whatever. And they just prayed for me. They put their hands on me, and this guy was like preaching, and it just hit me in this weird way. I never had that happen before. And before they came in the office, I was like kind of just like, I was kind of spiraling in a weird way in my mind. I was like, I don't want to be here. And then I was like, man, I don't know. What am I seeking right now? Like, I don't know what it was, but yeah, it was crazy. Like, I think there's just moments now in my life that prior to believing, I would not have recognized that. Now it's like, these are like signs in my life, and that I interpret as God like looking out for me. And it was the craziest thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I interrupted you though.
No. That was awesome. I do agree with you. I think that going to church and listening to the story, I think it's always going to be a net positive. And I've been to different churches with different people, and regardless of my religious affiliation, and I always walk out feeling better, because I think it's always a great message. And I think it's always like the central theme is like getting out of your own way and getting out of your own selfish desires to help the greater good in the community. And I think every logical person is like, yeah, that's a great message to hear, and that's a great way to live your life.
Yeah, it's so true. Like once you just start reading like the passages, it's just like, I mean, this is so true. Like it's not like saying anything crazy. Yeah, it's all about like love and turning away from sin.
Mm-hmm.
And sin leads to death. Love leads to life, and it's just, yeah, it's crazy because it's been kind of like demonized in a way where it's like, oh wow, you believe in that, like you must be a dumbass.
Yeah.
But yeah, not to get too preachy or anything, but I just figured that's something that I want to get better at in 2026.
Yeah.
It's being able to recall things and being able to, when things get stressful, turn to that versus turn to sin.
Yeah. Oh
so-
man, I've had a long day. Let me go rip a joint.
Sure.
You know, let me go rip a Zen and watch YouTube and Netflix. And
Yeah,
it's
numb
like,
out.
Yeah, numb out. Yeah, literally numb out. I think it's, yeah, you have to feel things. And you have to sit with those different emotions and thoughts. And I think because it can be uncomfortable and because it does challenge your core, like people naturally want to avoid challenging and uncomfortable things. I mean, that's just like the way of life. You know,
Definitely.
we want to find the easiest path.
True.
But I think for ultimate prosperity, like you got to face the music. I feel like I've said that 5 or 6 times today. It's, you know, you got to pay the toll to be swole. You know, you got to climb the mountain and what is it? Chop wood, carry water. You know, it's like everything is just like a stepping stone. Yeah. No, I think religion is obviously like a net positive. And it is kind of weird living in the United States right now where the conversation around organized religion is like kind of mixed, it seems like. And sometimes you think that like religion is weaponized to get people to believe in one thing versus the other. And I think the Charlie Kirk thing is an interesting, you know, cultural shift. Where he was a very religious guy, and then, you know, all the stuff that comes after it. And, you know, it's just, there's so much strange stuff going on. And you could either look at that as a sign that the end of times are coming, or you can look at it as like the wickedness and the evil is trying to take over the world and we need more people to shine the bright light, you know, but.
Yeah, it's crazy because during certain scriptures you read and it's like, wow, this feels like right now, like there's so much just evil going on in the world, and it says that the world's a fallen place and this world isn't meant for us. It's just a temporary place. And you see that with like all the death and evil and the politicians and all this crap. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. And with AI and whatever, I don't know. I'm reading Revelation right now.
Oh, that's like the apocalyptic?
Yeah, it's like
dark chapters.
These like revelations that this guy had about how the end times are going to happen, like all this weird stuff, like beasts coming out of the sky, and it's like the weirdest thing I've read. But the mark of the beast, and it's like, whoa, I don't totally understand it at all. But
well, I do, and I went on probably a 3 or 4 month phase of like listening to a lot of these supernatural podcasts and interviews.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys will talk about how the sightings and experiences with these types of supernatural beings and demons, quote unquote, have increased. And whether you could say that that's like the portal opening. Whoa. I mean, it's really interesting stuff. And they also say, like, whenever times are getting rough, like how they are now, like these things become more visible because it's on like the forefront of the mind. It's like the same thing with like aliens and extraterrestrials. They say that, you know, if you ask for it, you're going to get it. And if you look for it, you're going to find it. And I think that's certainly true.
Yeah, I think it's true. Like all the voodoo stuff, you know, like tarot cards, magic, all that stuff, I think it's real. People that are doing rituals in the public light, like Nick is always sending something about these halftime shows and that they're rituals.
The paganism and the gematria.
Yeah, It's crazy. It's a crazy world, but I think, like you said, once you're open to it, things will start happening in your life that, you know, is it just coincidence that like during this period of my life that when I was struggling, I look at the calculator and it's like 33333 or whatever, or I look at the clock and it's that time, you know, it's kind of, I don't know.
I think they call those angel numbers.
Yeah, I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't really view life as coincidences. I feel like there's some sort of purpose. I don't like to believe that it's all random.
Do you think one of the
good.
I remember when I was kind of going through my religious experience, the theory of like self-determination or predetermination of like everything is already decided and the book's already been written.
I don't know.
Which I guess
I
maybe
believe
meaning
about
that like people don't have free will.
I think we have free will because you have the option to choose good or you choose evil.
Yeah.
You have the option to sin or you have the option to turn away from sin. As for like, I guess I do believe that everything is already decided. I don't know what I think about that.
I mean, that's a heavy topic to get into.
Yeah, no, it's deep. It's deep. I don't know. There's people that I look up to in my life that are faithful people. And then there's like, I don't know, the people that aren't, I just look at their life and I don't think that they're in peace at all. You know, I don't know. Like the creators that we're watching on YouTube and everything, like I want to watch people that share similar beliefs. 'Cause you know, you find out real quick, like sometimes in these podcasts, like what people believe, and which is fine, like it's fair, but like, I don't know. I always find it like interesting watching like some of these podcasts and yeah, just like having that like marker of like, is this person like, they sound smart and everything, but like, are they truly like happy or like at peace with their life? But anyways, that was a deep little chat right there. 2026. I feel like it's going to be a good year.
I think so too. I think we're building.
Yeah.
The momentum is building.
So they're going to be getting down on one knee.
You are?
No, it's you.
Maybe.
How long have y'all been?
We've been together. I mean, we met probably the same time last year. And so, I mean, officially dating for almost 7 months now.
Nice.
But we've been seeing each other for about a year. Yeah. And I think, you know, the other thing about like the religious stuff, you know, when you feel like you finally have like that person in your life, I think it does kind of like start to raise questions about like your mortality and, you know, what's it all for?
Yeah. What's it all for?
Because usually, you know, if you're single, and I'm not saying you can't have one without the other, but when you're single, you're kind of living single and you're doing things that are a little bit more selfish driven sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, maybe you're hitting the bars and maybe, you know, it's just how it is. So I feel like whenever you start really building your family and the people that you plan on having around your life forever, you kind of start asking some of those like deeper questions of, you know, what are we doing this all for? You know, how do we want to raise our children? How do we want to live our life and be an example for others and help our community?
Yeah.
And so I think that's probably why you know, it's ironic that this is probably the first time we've ever had a conversation like this. And it's at the end of the year when we're both kind of we're certainly in a different situation than we were when we started the podcast. Ooh. We were talking about a lot of UFC and getting stoned before the podcast. And,
yeah.
You know, it's different.
It was different. Yeah. I feel like it was crazy. We're just, all right, let's just do this thing. You know, no pressure. And it's still no pressure. But yeah, it's crazy how it's evolved.
Like some of the episodes we've done a little bit more recently have been a little bit deeper. We've talked about different things. Obviously we've had our movie reviews and talking about sports and, the Thanksgiving confessions. Oh, that one has 122 views. I need to
That
go
one was
back and
funny.
listen to that.
Yeah, that one was a good one.
But I think it's like when you put the good energy out and you're seeking good things, like
Yeah.
you kind of get like a little bit of a tunnel vision. And you start eliminating distractions and things that just don't end up serving you. Like that one right there. I remember I was like, I don't even remember. When was that?
This was in February, I think. February 8th.
Yeah, I mean, I was probably blazed out of my mind. I just remember I think I was starving. I was so hungry. I still had the Whoop band on.
You got rid of that. When did you get rid of that?
Oh, I'm wearing the same shirt too. When did I get rid of that? It probably was like not long after this. Maybe March or April.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like, what were we talking about that mattered? Or what was going on in my brain?
I don't even think I put a transcript on here. It was kind of just like, let's just get this up here.
Yeah.
And this guy said, a great episode, guys.
Marky Poo.
Marky Poo 9.
Yeah. But no, it's been still got a few more days. Shit, you got a birthday coming up. 3 days. Turning 28. We got 4 days until the new year.
Yeah.
So write down your resolutions, build your vision boards.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm doing right there.
Oh, nice.
Got a bunch of magazines.
Oh, there you go.
Gonna make a vision board because what I did, one of the books I did read, Psycho-Cybernetics, talks all about the things that you see, and it's really easy for us to look at, like images. Like, for example, like you see something every day over and over again. It kind of like, and if it's a goal-oriented thing, it can not trick your mind, but it gets your mind on like the goal-setting track.
Yeah.
And so that's what a vision board is. Set goals that you have and find cool pictures. Like I've got like some workout magazines in there, sports magazines, travel magazine. And then I think like a Forbes magazine or something like that. Just like little things to see every day to kind of click your mind on.
No, I think it's a really powerful tool. I mean, you can obviously talk about the law of attraction and kind of the world of the metaphysical and what it means when you're always looking at something and, how you're going to think about it more often. And I remember Andy Frisella talking about that on one of his podcasts when he was broke and, he wanted to make money and wanted to have success. And, he would go drive in these neighborhoods, these mansions, and he would just look at these houses and, it's like, I'm going to live in one of these one day. And obviously that's just one aspect to his success and what he wanted for himself, and he achieved it.
I like that.
But he always reminded himself of the goal and where he wanted to end up. And, once you get it, it's kind of moving on to the next thing. But, yeah, I need to do something like that too. And I've always enjoyed writing, pen and paper. We obviously do a lot of typing on our phones and computers nowadays, but I've always had multiple different journals, and sometimes I'm really consistent with it and other times I'm not. But I'm going to sit down and write some stuff out and maybe just let my brain kind of write how I think I performed this year and some things I would like to improve on and work on or eliminate, and just kind of see where it takes me.
Yeah, I feel like that's good. Make a list of goals too and figure it out. Cool episode.
Yeah, I think I gained 20 pounds this year.
20 pounds?
Yeah, I think I gained about 20 pounds.
And like good weight? Do you you look slender here.
Yeah, I'd say half good weight, half non-good weight. A little bit of fat.
Interesting.
I'll blame it on the relationship weight.
Yeah.
Eating out and cookies. I mean, Mickey's always baking me stuff, which I love, but
usually it's healthy though. It's like,
well, maybe one of them's healthy, but when you eat 10 of them,
yeah,
it's not very healthy.
That's good, man. That's good.
Okay, wait, I can't find that jacket.
This one?
Yeah, I literally cannot find that anymore.
Did we work out after this?
Yeah.
I
Did
feel
I
like
leave
we've only
that?
worked out once.
Did I leave that at the Absolute Recomp?
No, we worked out this day. Pretty sure.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I cannot find that jacket anymore. I've lost some things this year. I can't find any fucking jackets. I think I lost like 3 jackets.
Are you gonna work out today?
Yeah. A little bit later, I'm going to go get some food. It'll be good to go. Hit some legs.
Lifetime?
Yeah, probably. I think I'm going to go with Mickey.
Okay.
Oh. All right. Hour 20. Last one of the year.
Good year, man. All right. Tune in next year, guys.